You're listening to The Grapevine on 99.3 County FM. I'm Lynn Pickering, and this is My Canada, Mon Cher Canada.
Rocks and plains and visions of trains from sea to sea. Forêts et lacs, aurore boréale du grand nord silencieux.
Mountains of snow, forests below, hopes and fears.
Frozen lands in the rugged hands of Canadian pioneers. This is my Canada.
This is my home, my nation.
From St. John's to Victoria. This is my Canada. This is my Canada. Canada. Oh, Canada.
The video of This Is My Canada, Mon Cher Canada, words and music by Jeanette Arsenault, has reached a milestone on YouTube. It has surpassed 500,000 views. Congratulations, Jeanette, and welcome to The Grapevine.
Thank you, Lynn. Nice to be with you. Such a great show that you guys have over there.
Thank you. Now, I was surprised to learn that you wrote the song in 1992, 33 years ago. So what prompted you to write such a patriotic song at that time?
When I say that I cried this out of my soul, I mean it. Because in the early 90s, there was some talk of separation and why Canada should separate, et cetera, et cetera. And then the Charlottetown Accord, if you remember that, back in that era. And I literally, I cried. I went, but this Canada, we live in such a wonderful country, and we're not complete without everyone, warts and all. You know, we belong as a country together through our strengths to become better. Whatever it takes to stay together was the actual impetus for writing this song.
I'm just going to read from the lyrics. Peacekeeping rolls and noble goals spark the fire. The marathon of hope lives on and the flames grow higher. The lyrics are not just about places in Canada, but about the landscape and the people. It's quite remarkable. How did you pull all that together?
Thanks for asking. It took me 3 months to write the song. I started off in the Ottawa Library in the Canadiana section, and my goal was to sit and look at all of Canadian accomplishments, inventing penicillin, it just goes the Canadian arm, et cetera, et cetera. And I started to write pages. I had 30 pages of notes of Canadian accomplishments. And then I thought it's going to be longer than the Edmund Fitzgerald, so I better kind of whittle it down. So I whittled it down to 15 pages, and then I whittled it down to 5 pages. And what I wanted to capture were words and phrases and imagery of who we are as Canadians and the beauty of our country. I mean, peacekeeping rules, we're known for that around the world. The marathon of hope lives on is a salute to Terry Fox. So that's the kind of thing that took me, as I said, 3 months to hone in on how to capture just what Canada has to offer and the beauty of Canadians as well as the scenery.
Well, of course, it's bilingual, as is Canada. So you have both languages in there, well represented.
Well, when I first wrote it, I was speaking mostly English and singing mostly English, living in Ontario. My background is French-Acadian from the Maritimes, but I was still working predominantly in English. So I did a salute to my French-Acadian roots with a translation of the chorus. And then I met this fabulous woman named Lucille Lambert, who was a retired French teacher at the time. And she gave it life. She didn't just translate it literally. She came up with like the essence of what the song was about. And that's when, I combined both. And as you know, I think in 2017, we re-recorded it with the official version of the lyrics.
Well, yes, I was going to say you wrote the song in 1992 and the video was produced and uploaded to YouTube in June 2017. Why the gap from writing to recording?
Well, the first year that it came out in 1992, something magical happened with that song. I was invited to sing it for Her Royal Highness Queen Elizabeth during her walkabout. I had a 9-piece RCMP band. And the same year, I got a call from a gentleman who said he was the captain of the HMCS Preserver. And I thought it was a joke. I said, yeah, right. And it was. And they adopted the song as their official wake-up call for the soldiers overseas. And so then the Kinsmen and Canettes Clubs of Canada used it as their theme song for their Proud to Be Canadian tour across Canada. So the song kind of went, oh, and I went, hey, I think I have something here. And I was ready to set to launch nationally and found out that I was pregnant. And 1994, I was in the middle of recording the song to go on my debut album as my daughter was doing somersaults in my belly. So I always say I gave birth twice in 1994, once to my song child in September and then my human child in December. So that's when I decided that I was going to become a full-time mom. I did not want to leave my daughter behind and go and tour Canada. I didn't want to drag her across the country touring with the album, and decided I was going to be a full-time mom and sing whenever I can. Well, and wherever I can. I get a call in 2001. Would you like to sing your song for the Canadian Olympians in Salt Lake City at the Olympic Games? What? I'm living in Little Cressy, beautiful Cressy, I always say it's a long way to paradise, but it's worth the trip. So here I was, deep in this country setting, fabulous setting, with a little daughter. My husband at the time was working in Ottawa, so I was keeping house and raising my daughter and enjoying my life. And would you like to come to Salt Lake City and sing your song? So Great Neighbours helped me with Kate and manage her to get her to school and everything. And off I went to Salt Lake City to do it. Someone there saw me and said, we'd like to bring you to Athens. Would you like to sing it for the Summer Olympics? Twist my arm. And in both cases, I was asked to write another song. So in Salt Lake City, I wrote Canadian Olympians, Olympiens Canadiens. And then in Salt Lake City, I wrote a third song called One Dream about, the passion of athletes preparing for the games.
Well, the video on YouTube of the song is visually stunning. It really is. Tell me about putting together the Dream Team Canada singers.
Sure, I'd love to. So that was 2002 when those things happened, and I thought, geez, this song still seems to have an interest, right? And it just kept going along. I thought, okay, when Kate finishes high school, then I'm going to take it further afield. I went on a train across Western Canada as the Via Rail artist on board, and I thought, here we go. The song is now going to take flight. And sadly, my daughter got cancer that year. So everything stopped. Everything came to a full stop, of course. And then she went into remission in 2017. And we said, okay, this is the time. It's Canada 150. Let's re-record the song. And my producer, Don Coleman, out of New Brunswick, near Moncton in Hillsborough, he is quite well known in music circles down on the East Coast, and he had some connections. So he said, we'll bring in David Clayton Thomas from Blood, Sweat and Tears, and Liberty Silver, who was on the Tears Are Not Enough video that was, really well known in the early 90s, and the Good Brothers, the Canadian Country Hall of Famers, and the Indigenous dancer in our video? Yes. That turned out to be, it was Liberty's grandson. So the song was so meant to be, or something happened magically that weekend. And we had 25 young singers from Ajax who came in and had to learn some of the parts on the fly with Annalyn Murphy from the county. So there were some nice county roots there as well. And believe me, this is not easy to do, to put that whole musical piece together in 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. All the recording was done. Everybody did their parts. They flowed in and out of the studio. There were no egos. There was just a love and a passion for our country. And then we came up with that, with the new soundtrack that you hear in that video.
Well, it's on its way to 600,000 views. Has there been a surge in viewers over the past several months because of the Elbows Up campaign?
Elbows up, indeed. I almost went back in the studio to add another verse or something, you know. But yeah, we did get a burst of energetic pride as people came together in Canada. That actually ended up being a gift to Canada. I've never seen Canadians unite quite like they have in the last few months for the political atmosphere that we're living through, shall we say it that way. And yeah, there became a surge. We're at 540,000 as of this morning, 541,000, better not forget that 1,000. And the other beauty of this, for me personally, I haven't paid for views. I haven't paid any promotions, or I haven't paid for marketing or anything. This is literally grassroots Canadians finding the song, sharing it far and wide. It goes around the world. There are Canadians everywhere around the world. And that's what's given me renewed hope or renewed sense that there's something magical about this song that is far beyond me as the singer anymore. In fact, I'm passing the torch. Canadians are adopting it for their own. Choirs are singing it across the country. School kids are using it in school assemblies. It's just taken on a life of its own. And as a songwriter, you can't be more honored and thrilled than that.
Well, last Tuesday, July 1st, was Canada Day. You took part in the parade in Wellington. Tell me about your day.
I was honored to be asked to be in the lead car for the Veterans Association from the Wellington on the Lake, as participating in the Wellington Parade on Canada Day. Having sung in Wellington for years and years and years, I know what a celebratory community it is. It's almost like a dream. If you did a movie about, celebrating Canada Day, that would be one of the spots you'd want to go and do. It's just so much enthusiasm. So this friend of mine, his name is George Millaire, has this beautiful little red convertible, a Miata. And he rigged it up with some of the best speakers you can buy, speaker system. So we drove through that parade for 45 minutes, waving to everybody and having a blast. Everybody enjoying the day. Fortunately, it didn't rain. Hooray. And he just played the song along the whole route. And it was a magical experience for me. I couldn't have been more honored.
Well, I want to thank you for joining me today, Jeanette. And again, congratulations. And we're going to go to the break with This Is My Canada, Mon Cher Canada.
Thanks so much, Lynn. And thank you to 99.3 for the wonderful work that you do within the community and showcasing community people and community events.
Thank you.
Torrent d'eau fraîche, dune de sable, village côtier. Gens de cœur, gens d'espoir et ancêtres dévoués.
Peacekeeping roles and noble goals spark the fire.
The marathon of hope lives on and the flames grow higher. This is my Canada. This is my home, my nation. From St. John's to Victoria. This is my Canada. This is my Canada. Canada.
Watch the video, This Is My Canada, Mon Cher Canada, with words and music by Jeanette Arsenault on YouTube. It's beautifully produced. And link from This Is My Canada, Mon Cher Canada Facebook page. You're listening to 99.3 County FM, the voice of the county.